Hello there, my lovely bitches, and welcome to another very special episode for a very special series of Goblets of Gaze. Yes, I'm not Aubrey. I swear to God, if you haven't noticed by now, that's just on you. I'm Maki. My pronouns are she, her, and for about 2 more sessions, I'll be your lovely GM as we embark on a mini series called To Hunt the Moon, set in my own homebrew world called Shambhala, which is heavily inspired by several AAPI mythology, regions, and landscapes, written by a BIMPOC for a BIMPOC to explore a non-Western / European-centric world, and thus majority of this is rooted deeply away from said familiarities. Joining me today, we have our lovely players, so let's go down in order with Alyssa first.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing as the barbarian who is an orc and a champion of Verendis and ultimate wife guy to Clem, pronouns she, her.
Aubrey.
Oh, yes. Hi, I am Aubrey, and I play Hyra, our local druid barbarian, very tall, angry elf lady with chicken companion. We both use she, her.
Hello, my name is Ferris. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Clio, the Oread Oracle, who loved her wife way more than Az could ever possibly love Clem. I'm sorry, it's just I am the ultimate one who loves my wife. Clio also.
Hello, I am Dusty. I use he, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Patrice, flesh warp Ganzi, monk that walks around like you can't fuck with me. They're not a wife guy at all.
Are they a wife?
They can be. It can be, but not yet.
Not yet.
Hello, I'm Sparlock. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Hoshi, our archaeologist bard shamisen player that apparently occasionally branches out to weird ass death metal with like art installation stuff now. Who uses she, her pronouns.
And hello, I am Tick. I use he, they pronouns. I'm playing Clem, also known as the fruit that shoots. That's all you need to know.
I hate it.
Ooh, awesome. You can find the majority of us on our sister podcast, Anima Magiri, at Anima Magiri, which the whole first season has aired. We will return hopefully soon with a new Power by the Apocalypse system we're working on as a group. You can also find Aubrey, Dusty, and I on Bring Your Own Mech at Own Mech, which is a spaced Western Lancer podcast. And lastly, at least from me, this star-studded cast, will be partnering with Smunchy Games' Pathfinder 2e Kickstarter, Naltooth, Candle Q, as we will be demoing a one-shot GM'd by Aubrey. We will be demoing all their homebrew ancestries and heritages in their lovely setting, and for more information, you should check out their Twitter at Smunchy Games. So, do we have any more announcements from you guys?
I can't think of anything, but
I think it depends when this airs, but you may be actually hearing the first episodes of Well Seasoned Stories by the time this is out. Which is definitely going to be a very vampire thing, because it's going to be releasing on BIPOC Vamp Weekend. So look out for that. It's going to be at Season Stories on Twitter, and includes Aki and Alyssa and I and a lot of other cool people.
Oh my god, and that one we're starting also on my birthday. Look at that. I got two fucking podcasts that are birthday twins with me. Look at that shit. Okay. Are we all good on announcements?
yes, I believe so.
Awesome. No questions today, children. No more questions at all. Just a story, a small poem, a sonnet I have prepared for you. Have you ever heard of the Dog Queen of DogTown? A nomad, a wanderer, born from the waste. Only 10 years of age when she brought the bandit king down. Violence and war are all that she tastes. By 12 her kingdom made, and she lived in a castle. By 13 her legions spread, leaving all her enemies dead. Age 14 the land is hers, no owner, no vassal. Age 15, Mara's eye gorged. Her dogs are now fed. A decade gone by, but her dogs, they still howl to all those weary travelers. Enter her lands if you dare. For the dog queen of DogTown sees humans most foul. To all those weary travelers, I caution you to beware. For if you meet her gaze, pray that it will end fast. The might of her dog's bite will surely be your last. So now we're going to start off. Essentially, we are back on the trains once again. For those of you who weren't with us in session 1 due to gay things and work, the train is rather large, and the best way to put it is that it is a double-decker train. So it's like a train stacked on top of another train. And it is very fancy, rather high tech for its time, and it is completely powered by magic, by mana, in which the entire Underdark Mountains are essentially, thanks to the crystallization using its mana. It's a little strung up, but the best way to put it is no pollution, baby. And you guys, though, those who traveled on this train to get to Shang, you were in the lower floors. It wasn't to say like bad or unpleasant at all. It was spacious, it was fine, it was just lacking privacy, as this technically you were in the public parts of the train. However, I will say, this time around, you guys are in high-end luxury side. You are getting the full 5-star treatment. You are quite literally sitting in the upper levels of it, and you have your whole own private cart for you, except for Alice and Clio, who have their own separate cart to themselves. So you guys are like first class and stuff like that, and then Alice and Clio have like the presidential suite equivalent. But you guys do get to eat your meals together, which are you basically get like a menu and whatnot. So you have quite a bit of leeway with things you can eat, where you would like to sleep, even down to what your animals are served too, which is the best part. They totally have like a little chef that was 100% ready to cook a meal for like a dog, or in this case, a chicken, a fox, an owl. I'm pretty sure that's all the animals on here. Yep. And you find yourselves kind of seated in the main area. This is your like lounge, I would say. Having tea, maybe some cookies, you're just chilling. Hong and Sephora have decided to stay behind to watch over the estate and deal with all the headlines that you guys made last night. A couple things to note in terms of those headlines. Hoshi, you probably have a couple gigs from a few nobles for future parties. You definitely got a few numbers, but like they're not like, well, the equivalent of numbers. You got addresses like and invitations, and basically how they would kind of get a hold of you and such. They would like you to play. Get laid, I'm not sure. We'll leave it up to whatever you are comfortable with, but you do have essentially future bard gigs. Several nobles have also been asking for guard recommendations. Maybe it has to do with the fact that you guys had sleeveless uniforms. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? There is also a scandalous headline of Alice showing up underdressed only to flamboyantly steal her wife away from the party. That's like newspaper header. And Clio, your first painting, which is the one that was already up for auction, sold for about 250,000 GP, something like that. Which, by the way, the proceeds go to refugee funds and stuff like that. So, like, you're not making money off of this, but somebody paid a lot for your first, I believe it was like a landscape type of esque painting. And then the second one that you did as a distraction with Hoshi sold for about 500,000 GP, which, you know, is a lot. And lastly, rich people at auctions, the bidding starts immediately high.
Yeah.
I realized I like Googled it today while I was in the car. I might have lowballed the first painting, but like who knows? And oh yes, the fake scepter sold for 1.3 million GP. It was already bought essentially, but that's how much it was sold for to the super nobleman from Shangri-La. Now, you guys can basically, this is your free time. Time is a bit irrelevant, I'll say. So you can be like, oh, and the next day or whatever will be fine. And you guys can have some time to just chill and RP if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? Yeah.
Clio would want to, spend time in the really nice suite.
It's a
but
very
also,
nice suite, okay? All I'm saying is there are definitely some of your paintings in there.
oh,
This suite never gets used unless Alice or you are on board. This is literally your your private bedroom on the train.
who has the best life now? As it's me. Yes. So other than spending lots of time with the wife, also Cleo's probably going to get to know some of the other heist members that interacted a lot with, like Az and Pyra and Patrice. Kind of like, I don't know, maybe bring tea to them in their peasant suite.
Damn.
They're what are they, first class? And they're first. And kind of ask how they got involved in all of this. Like, why were they hired? What did Alice see in them?
I don't know. Pyro will be, I guess, either, petting Nugget or, snuggling up to Patrice.
I was going to
Maybe
say they're
do
probably
both.
with, yeah. I mean, both. Cuddle pile. Like, Patrice,
Yeah.
like, loves
Patrice,
Nugget as
Pyra,
well.
Nugget.
Mhm.
So yeah, you bringing tea.
And so you all are friends with, or you're just employees of my Alice? How did that?
I mean, other than Zipporah approaching me one day and asking if I was interested in the job, that's kind of what happened. So I'm honestly not sure about some of those parts.
As for me, I believe I was a recommendation from my mentor that happened to know Zipporah. Zipporah.
Oh, of course.
Mhm.
I love.
I mean, I was working in a bar before all of this, but strong, and I do kind of stand out.
Certainly flamboyant.
Blaming.
Also, a very good word, I would say.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that is a slight. I wouldn't say I'm incredibly curious as to know why I was chosen. I like adventure, so this is kind of perfect in a way. I've been thinking about leaving the bar anyways. I'd been there for about a year, and I want to travel around, see new things, have new experiences. And honestly, I think my dad is probably a little bit more proud of me doing this rather than working at a bar.
Your father is strict.
Oh, not really. It's really hard to be a child of the god of war and be like, yeah, what do you do for a living? I work in a bar.
Oh, I see.
It was adopted.
Oh, I see less, but I see.
That's why the orange is their sibling, which I'm
My
not gonna lie,
marriage,
is
but I think.
it's still so surprising.
Yeah, trust
Were
me,
you
I was
both
very
adopted,
surprised.
or
What was that? What did you
were
say?
you both adopted?
I guess in a way, I mean, the orange was kind of more created as a joke.
The worst kind of oops, baby.
But they're dependable. So and at least I know that Clem's always got my back. At least for now. I don't know.
Always have people you can depend.
Yeah, your family still confuses me the more and more I know.
I mean, and then there's Kushi, who is my sister, and it's a very confusing family tree with a lot of adoption.
That's what a prestigious one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that is in a way why I was chosen. My connections to all of this. I didn't really think about it. Makes a lot of sense.
Process, perhaps, such thing.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It is kind of cool having hair that's on fire all the time.
I would imagine I mix it different hats.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't always burn. I keep it under control if I need to. I just kind of like the wild look.
Me too. Me too.
I know you do.
And then just Patricia's just gonna take a long sip of tea.
I'm glad to this
Yeah.
with you two.
Yeah. I hope you're all comfortable in whatever we're going to do. Meet Dog Queen.
That's right. I keep forgetting about that as well. Very forgetful days.
I mean, I think it's mostly because you're distracted, but I mean that's always a bad thing.
Yes. How does, if you don't mind me prodding a little bit, how do you and Alice know the Dog Queen?
What a great question, DM.
I mean, other than the fact that
Uh,
Alice seems to know absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty much.
as you ask this, Alice just so happens to stroll on by there by no design whatsoever. Just missing wife hours,
Just
I guess.
happenstance, yes.
Happens 100%. Get up, stretch the legs. Sitting in a train all day. These rides get a little tedious sometimes. You just need to walk, especially since you'll be here for quite a while. And she will walk on by, take a seat by her wife, and if the seat is not free, she will literally just go, and stare at whoever is sitting right beside her wife, like.
They must have been privy to the weirdest conversation if they
And then she'll sit by Clio, look at you all, and say, "Did someone mention what was it, Dog Queen?"
Oh, well, just glad to happen to see you. I was just asking your lovely wife. How do y'all happen to know?
Oh, well, it's surprisingly simple. She just called Zipporah, and Zipporah called me. it's a pretty straight shot. To be fair, I trust Zipporah quite a bit when it comes to picking people. She's pretty good, very good judge of character, and well, she's been around a while, so she knows talent when she sees it. In terms of getting jobs, though, she also deals with majority of that. A lot of my contracts come from her in general. This, though, is a little weird. I'm not necessarily sure how Zipporah got contact with the Dog Queen. I've never met the con myself. I've met a couple of them, but none of the main ones, none of the ones that own territories. So this is my first time, as much as it's y'all's first time. But I do know she wanted my services, not me, like Chow Industries or anything. I had to get the train ports approved by her too, so but we never met in person. But she wanted the thief part of me, I guess. It's really weird. But you don't exactly turn down a con and live to brag about it,
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true.
Oh, I know. Yes, I'm just was very surprised someone as illustrious as yourself was contacted. So
Well, if we're one, thanks. Two, if we are going for bragging points, I have met the monarch of Eastern Shangdu. Lovely person. So much glitter.
you are correct. Yes, it's kind of the thing right now. In fact, and then Patrice's just gonna pull out the lip gloss and opens up, and it just happens to be glittery this time. It's like you gotta stay.
Yeah, it gets
Yep.
everywhere.
It does. It does. But I mean, if it's your thing, it's your thing. I'm not gonna doubt one fashion sense.
Oh man, like someone put up like these things called like glitter bombs. Someone put detonated one of those in like the bar one time, and I was cleaning glitter out of like the glasses for like a week and a half. I really wanted to hurt that person.
The chemical buildup of like glitter apparently is like prestidigitation proof. I had to find that out the hard way.
It really is.
I bought Clio here some paints once. I don't know, they put glitter in it. The best way to put it is that like it got everywhere, right?
But it was
Mhm.
beautiful.
It was very beautiful, but it got
I
everywhere.
really wanted to petition the innkeeper to like just let me burn down the bar and build a new one. I think that was the only way to get the glitter out.
some say it's still there to this day.
Yep.
Gets glitter. Ooh.
But I'm no longer at that bar, so I no longer have to think about that glitter.
The real reason you left.
Yeah. It wasn't for adventure. It was like, no, because this goddamn glitter is still driving me up the walls.
And I don't take offense to that at all. I probably
Just reach out, flick a little glitter off your cheek.
Oh, how did I get there? But it was
was
actually
there the
probably
whole time.
No, it was actually probably from the lip gloss.
Yeah, Patrice just it's just like giggling, but like giggling away with their eyes and like just sipping tea again.
Is there anything else anyone else would like to just to keep this thing going?
I think in the meantime, with all of those contact details, I think Hoshi would have gotten like a couple of commissions that she's legitimately working on. Like some asshole rich person that is smitten with her. She's going to kind of do she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write you a song, and it's gonna be like the most underhanded thing ever.
Oh god,
Just
do you know, have you heard it's called the Potential Breakup Song? It's like an old Disney thing. Have you ever heard of it? I only remember like very few lines, but it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna find it. Continue.
The
that
one by
sounds great.
like Ali and AJ.
Yes, now those bitches.
Yeah, no, I think I have it on a playlist somewhere.
Yeah, and with her personality, the only like response from the group that she's actually going to like take seriously is from like one of the wait staff. She'll have a new pen pal.
That's adorable. What about you, Clem? Anything you'd like to do?
Not really, no.
Nah, just chilling, vibing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything else anybody, like another interaction or scene anybody else would like to have?
I don't need to like play it out, but Az is definitely drafting a suggestion for the comic artist of like an orc femme fatale who occasionally pops in the Fruit That Shoots Noir comic.
Amazing. I will say, if you wish to strike up a convo with Alice about the fruit that shoots, it definitely does happen, and you 100% know that like now that Alice is aware of a comic, she's definitely going to be sending money that person's way. This comic's gonna get fucking published. That's the best way to put it. It's gonna be in universe, it's gonna get published. Alice is a fan of the fruit that shoots specifically because it is so goddamn random.
All right. Do
yes?
you want it added to the song too? Do
There's
you
a
want to be
song?
in the song? There's so many songs.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, yes. Wait, sing me a song. I'll play you.
Don't put me on the spot. I don't have my keyboard out.
Don't
for some
worry.
reason, but
I won't. But you can just say you did it. Okay, I won't even make you roll performance. The best way to put it is that Alice is a fan that there's an orange with a gun stuck to it, and it's gotten this popular. That's it.
Who was pitching the idea for the comic?
That would be
As you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to like we should add the song to it? Add it to the song, and like we can get like a multimedia thing going.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anything to have everyone know how wonderful Clem is.
Maybe we can get we could get the artist and a wizard, and they can do moving pictures. I've heard of this thing.
I mean, they really are best. She really is best in motion. So absolutely we should do that.
Good lord. Just good lord. Okay, awesome. If that is it, we will jump, whatever, a bit. Oh, does anybody in particular want to carry the box that the scepter is in? Because if not, Alice will just have it. But if anyone specifically wants to carry it, you probably can.
I can.
Yeah, not me, the fire person, please.
Hoshi wants to take a look at it.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure when she's not playing, she's pawing at it.
Yeah, you'll definitely be allowed to look at it and whatnot, since you guys are like in a private cart. You're in two private carts technically, but you're in a private cart. You'll be able to see it. Alice will probably pull it out and show it to you.
Uh,
And oh yes,
Also, I just realized what I said, and absolutely no furry pun intended.
oh god,
That was accidental.
nice. Yes, and the best way to put it is that up close, it looks old. It looks kind of creepy, and it looks pretty archaic in a way. Like it's broken down the middle, but like in a diagonal, so it's uneven. It the way the jaguar skull is stuck onto the spear at all is weird. Like it's sort of jammed in there, and then somebody like took rope or something and then just wrapped it around and went, "It's gonna work," and and it's been like that for God several years. It looks old. It looks fragile in a way, but like it looks like if you were to pick it up, you'd have to hold it in both hands and cradle it like a baby. But you're pretty sure it's a lot sturdier than.
Is it magical in nature?
You could make an Arcana check, or if you have like detect magic or read aura, you can use that.
I think I have both.
Whatever you want, then. Like you can even do a combo of it if you.
Yeah, let me pull up my spell list.
You technically do have a lot of time if you just wish to simply take the time to study it, do whatever you want for all the spells that isn't like, I don't know, fireball at it.
Why not throw fireballs at it? That sounds like a way to. Oh wait,
You're-
wrong character.
You're in a yeah, one
Do
wrong
not.
character. Two, you're in a very close. It's I mean you have space, but it's still a closed combat inside a closed compact inside a closed compact. You know, it's you're not exactly in an area where you can just open the windows and let this smoke air out.
Okay, no smoking.
Yeah, I have both read aura and detect magic. And I would also probably do an arcana check as well. To find out as much as I can.
Okay, yeah, sure. If you want to roll that Arcana, you can. If you rather just like take 10 minutes to an hour to just really figure it out too, that's also fine with me. Just let me know what you would like to do.
Yeah, I'll take time. We got a couple days.
Yeah, you do like couple, so it's fine. And the best way to put it is that yes, this is magical in nature, but the magic you're able to kind of zero in where it's from, and it's 100% in the crystal that is kind of shoved or wedged inside the jaw of the jaguar skull. It's not a jaguar, actually; it's a leopard skull. My bad. But inside said skull, and it's being held in place, and that is where all the magic is stored, or what you think really is magic. Magic is the only way to describe it. It feels off though. When you look at a different magical item, like for example, you'd probably be able to detect like your party members with magical items. Alice definitely has a couple magical items and whatnot. That is a very like, yep, it's arcane, type of vibes. This one feels different. And I'm gonna allow you to have or I'll let you roll religion, and you can get give yourself like a +2, I would say, to that roll. Just because you're taking your time, so you would have time, or rather you would have the time to put more energy into figuring this out.
Can I
Yeah.
give her guidance?
Still
If you want to, like if you're
It's a cantrip.
if Hoshi is not secretly doing this, I guess you could, yeah.
Oh no, there's gonna be much like overly talking about like history and just nerding out over it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I
like,
think
if
Clio
it's-
would be joining in on the nerding out here.
Yeah. Like if this were like, let's say in the middle of the table, in the middle of the room kind of vibe, and people can just walk in and out of this conversation. Yeah, go for it. You can use guidance. You can
That-
have
Have a
help.
+1.
Only like a 16 though.
The +1 makes it 17.
That's with the +1.
Oh, never mind.
Oh dear. Well, the best way to put it is that you know that there's something else to this magic. You have read aura, right?
Yes. So I
So-
do
so
get the
you would-
school.
Yes, the School of Magic to the best of your abilities would be necromancy. And just based off of your religion roll and the fact that you probably can infer, this is called the Scepter of Sitara. So necromancy makes sense in a way, since she's the goddess of death. She is the goddess of like the moon and hunting and all these other several other things. But death is within her domain, and she kind of just walks around going, "Yes, I'm the death god." So of course the magic
As a
items
death
are very
god would.
good. Yeah, like the necromancy doesn't feel out of place. The general vibe of the magic, so school aside, that feels out of place. It feels rather compact, and you're not necessarily sure why. It's almost as everything else is for decoration.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, it does seem it's. I mean, it's a great artifact, but it's kind of half-assed. I usually expect more of that period of magic artisan.
Oh yes, because of your archaeological background, you will know that this is quite a few hundreds of years old. I will say. I'm pretty sure that it was advertised as like a few years old or straight up ancient. And the best way to put it is that it's not that old, but it's not like it's a spring chicken either. You know.
Of course, it's not. It's a jaguar. Can't you tell from just looking at it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cat person. Anything else? We all good with everybody?
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Okay. And Clio wanted to carry the scepter.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So you're carrying it in it's a little briefcase. It's gonna look like you're carrying an instrument around, or like a small suit of luggage, honestly. But yeah.
That work?
Mm-hmm. And so after a couple days, you all finally arrive. And for the record, it has been a dark journey. Like outside, it is dark. When you will notice like your animals get very uncomfortable, and so they will rush to your side or even huddled close together. It's the one time Moof is not trying to eat Nugget. It's there are certain spots. And while the train is unnaturally dark outside as you are traveling through the Underdark Mountains, your animals will fear something, is the best way to put it. And then they'll be fine. And then they'll feel fear again. And then they'll be fine. And so when you finally reach to where the side of the mountain is essentially, or a part of the side of the mountain to where the train ports to Western Shangdu are, you feel refreshed. It's going that long without any natural light or natural light is it's surprisingly a rather big toll on you. You may not have noticed it, you may have. Whether that is, we'll leave it up to you as personal preference. But what you do see, or rather what you are greeted with immediately, are overgrown vines and leaves, just an impossible amount of green. The train port itself, as you kind of leave and take a good deep breath of fresh air, and the air out here is quite fresh, honestly. Maybe it just rained, or maybe it's simply the moisture. But it's definitely not hard to breathe or anything. It feels good. It feels really fucking. And the train port itself, like I mentioned, overgrown. The vibes are actually very spirited away. In a way. It feels otherworldly, especially coming out of the super hustling, bustling city that is Shang. You are now greeted with Shang. And as you step out, you will notice there aren't necessarily like many guards stationed like how it was in Sangala, in which Sangala had several different types of guards, and perhaps even paid mercenaries, and in like 6 different uniforms standing in watch and in wait for something to happen. Over here, it's surprisingly lax. You'll see a couple guards in which are kind of clad in these hide and leather armors and furs and whatnot. And you will notice there are animal companions, several of them. Majority of these will be dogs, of course, as you are in the western part of Shangdu. And the one that greets you, there's 3 three clansmen that greet you, but the one in particular is this rough-looking goblin, and with a dog that is several sizes bigger than them. Looking more wolf really than dog, and he'll just slap his chest and be like, "Ah, yes, you are my queen's visitors, right? I have to keep an eye out for city folk."
I can't tell if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it as such.
No, I could
Yeah.
smell the eastern stink on you. Fancy. But, yeah, I'm assuming it's just you. 1, 2, 3. This is both me and him counting. That's 7 of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. Well, the name's Gobita. And this, and he, like, pats his giant fucking dog, is Ranga. And, we've been sent by my lady to escort y'all to our tribe, to our village. A couple of ground rules, though. You keep your weapons close by you. Like, we're here to help protect you, so the locals won't think too much, but we can't promise for the wilds, you know? So you keep your weapons close to you. You keep that, and he points to you, Pyra, specifically your hair. You keep that under control if you can. And if you're not hunting, don't kill an animal. That's kind of our main rule around here. If you're hunting, that's a different case, but y'all won't need to hunt. We good?
Perfectly amenable.
Awesome. So keep close. We won't be riding ahead of you or anything. There aren't any paved roads or anything like that. You're just gonna be following us through the jungle, through the thick of it. I hope y'all brought your hiking boots or whatever. You will definitely notice that Gobita is not wearing shoes. He's just barefoot out here.
Is wearing sandals and looks at their feet and takes their sandals off.
Are you gonna go barefoot?
Yep.
Okay, good to know.
Yay!
So Hoshi's feeling a little insulted. She's going to be like, oh, okay, just 1 second, let me go change. And she's going to go somewhere like around the corner or like behind a tree, whatever's close, where the goblin can't see, and focus and change her armor to look like a fancy gown, just like the most ostentatious thing she can do, and then come back in that.
You're gonna get like 3 confused looks as Gobita is with 2 other riders. There is a tiefling rider with and their partner is like an Alaskan Malamute. So another pretty big fluffy dog. And then you'll see a half elf with a corgi. And they all, including their dogs, turn their heads to the side in unison as they are a bit confused about the gown, but they don't really question it.
Darling, are you sure that's what you want to wear into the jungle?
Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Wink.
I-
I
Fair enough.
think you would have realized over the couple days that all I have is one thing of armor that I can make look like anything. So it looks like a gown. Underneath, it's perfectly acceptable traveling attire.
I do want to say that Patrice is actually just extra as fuck right now because it's the first time they got to actually dress up. So they're they're wearing like clothes that are like super long and flowy. And it looks like it's like those dresses that almost they're like pants legs, but like they look like dresses just because they're like also very long and flowy. And so they were just looking at them, but they would just say, "Yeah, it'll be fine. I think all of us will be fine."
Ira's pretty much just in glorified loungewear.
Clio's definitely got the wide leg pants and like suspenders on.
The best way to put it is that Alice is dressed like Brendan Fraser from the first Mummy movie. But with
Heck yes.
Good.
That's my wife.
yeah, sleeves rolled up, totally showing off the guns.
I love
You know,
her.
that kind of stuff. She's got one of those Indiana Jones hats on. You know, perfectly acceptable wear for this type of setting. And at some point, Gobita will just be like, "All right, keep up. We don't want to lose you now." And he will lead the way, kind kind of, you guys don't necessarily need to have like a marching order or anything like that. There is no path, but you have the one with the corgi sort of in the middle, so the half elf with the corgi is sort of in the middle of y'all, keeping count. And then the tiefling with the Alaskan Malamute is at your back, your rear, keeping y'all in check. And you guys are effectively surrounded, but it's not hostile. It's more like a safety precaution type of. Oh yes, and over the course of traveling, whether or not you choose to make small talk, you will find the tiefling. They will introduce themselves as Chalice, and their partner is Daisy, the big fluffy Alaska Malamute, and then the half elf is Dina, and the corgi's name is Pete.
And Patrice.
How?
Oh.
Sorry. No, no,
wait.
no.
One more thing. Pete's as in feats, but she couldn't. She calls the feats Pete's. It's also Pete's with a Z.
Patrice would have asked nicely to pet the corgi.
Dino will basically just pick the corgi up, Pete's up, and just go, yeah, a lot of you folk seem to really like the small ones, huh? And she'll just hold out her dog for you to pet. So this corgi is effectively looking like a hot dog, just hanging, happy to be here.
Yes, Patrice would be like, well, yes, of course. Have you seen how adorable?
Oh, kind of, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you've never seen Pete's in a battle before, but I mean, Pete's is pretty friendly.
Oh, I love it.
Pete's also has a little, instead of like a collar or anything, it's like one of those bandanas around their neckies. Yeah. Pete's also has the equivalent of little armor on, for the record. So you know Pete's is here. Pete's means fucking business. All the dogs have armor on it, though the bigger ones, so Gobita's wolf dog and Daisy, the Alaskan Malamute, they both have what appears to be like saddles. They are like definitely mounted dogs. You can only imagine what the fuck Pete's is.
I love it.
A friend.
Yeah. Anything y'all would like to do, or are you good?
Something to hold my wife's hand while you walk.
Abso-fucking-lutely. First and foremost, Daisy is the equivalent of like a kid in kindergarten or something when the teacher asks for help to move the chairs, and then one kid has like 6 of them on to show that they're like a big, strong kid. This is Alice with the fucking suitcases with the luggage that you might have brought. It's not much luggage, but this is Alice totally carrying all of it, plus her adventuring gear, plus Clio's adventuring gear.
Oh, no, baby. I can carry my own stuff.
The answer about the names for the dogs and stuff, by the way, is not long at all. I have a list of names for specific dogs because I am compensating for something. So Pete's was like, yes, gotta take. But yes, you can definitely hold your wife's hand. In fact, Alice will be the first one to kind of ask some questions. So it's a lot of general questions like how's the terrain in general? How is the village doing at all? Where to go next? Is there any customs they need to know beforehand? For Patrice, you would straight up know that like the clans of Shangdu are pretty I wouldn't say hostile, but because the kingdom of Shangdu has been so traditionally rooted in its beliefs and in its current systems, when they meet outsiders and new people, it's sort of like you are expected to adjust to them, which isn't a bad thing per se, especially when you realize that they have some of the best balances between spiritualism and traditions and even modernism. It's a good mix. It's just where you're from, which is the eastern side, y'all took it up a notch. Y'all went, we can change everything, but like it's not really changed. Hence how you live inside trees and stuff like that. The trees are alive and well. They are not dead. They are still housing spirits and whatnot. And they are still doing the jobs that all trees have in terms of providing oxygen It's just you turn them into shelter, livable, and it's a very codependent, coexisting type of thing. A symbiotic relationship. There you go.
Yeah. I do want to say, by the way, just because Patrice has something to prove, I want him to be like also ahead of the group, but also just like moving around as swiftly and deftly as anyone else, if not more, just to like be a show off to these new people. I think they can't travel well while dressed nicely.
Oh yeah, no, you probably have no trouble at all moving in this terrain, which I will say impresses some of the clansmen just because there is stigma. There is definitely stigma based on where you're from, and
Mhm.
they can tell where you are from. So you have
Mhm.
impressed some straight out. You definitely have not impressed like Gobita, who's like, please, I'm half your height and I can do this like way faster. So like
Mhm.
it's it's there, but it's not. And they are from the dog clan, so they, if you think you have something to prove, they have to continuously prove, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, if everybody would like to make a perception check, uh, go for it. This is completely optional. And while this is happening, Alice will, or rather, Gobita will speak up and say, "I will say though, it's been a little rough these past few weeks. There's been, and well, we don't want to freak you guys out or anything, but we have been having attacks from the unborn. We are right beside the Underdark Mountains, so it does make sense. You know, we're pretty sure they're coming from somewhere. I mean, but it's been very small, nowhere near the village. So y'all will be safe, or as safe as can be. It's mostly just the open roads and anywhere near the mountain. So we've got those areas rather secure. But I thought I'd let you know, since
Out of character and possibly in character, depending on your answer. Who are the unborn again?
you can say this. Regardless, I think everybody would actually know a little bit about them. In terms, I'll get to your perceptions after this. Then, so the unborn are essentially a true universal threat. They are the creations of mortals, so people like all of you who essentially want to ascend to godhood, but go about it in very, very wrong ways. And so they get overwhelmed and their bodies mutate and they become these creatures. They are sentient. They are they can be smart or intelligent, which would be very dangerous. But for the most part, they are essentially, please think, sort of like zombie slimes of eh, of just single-minded ambitions. Some people will, well, not some people, they're not people. Some unborn will straight up want to eat and only eat. Others want everything. You know, it's they can have different ambitions, and majority of the time it's quite single-minded. But if they were to attack you, they would be looking to consume you, and therefore you become one. And that is that is a universal problem. That is something that every single country is kind of dealing with. Right now, the main source of where the undead, not the undead, of the unborn are hidden are unfortunately trapped inside the Underdark Mountains, which you also use for travel, and you also use for trade. But they are trapped inside and underneath, and the trains are built on top in a way. The trains go through the mountains, but the best way to put it is that everybody knows where they're kind of conglomerated, and so the trains are safe. Unless you decide to blow up the train or something like that. Yes. And for your perception rolls, Hoshi, you will just be like, this is a forest or a jungle. I'm a little sweaty. Everyone else, though, you pretty much hit it. The nat 20, you see it. I'll just say you see it before anyone else. But you see trees rustling, not falling apart, not breaking, though you can hear like fallen leaves get crunched or branches and sticks on the ground be snapped as something very large is headed your way. the rest of you will notice it as well. And at first, everybody, your three clansmen are kind of, they grab hold of their weapons. But you would notice, everybody else with your high perception rolls, you would notice that the dogs are not worried at all, nor are they flinching. And it takes maybe a matter of a couple seconds afterwards for you to see that's just a juvenile aged elephant. So a teenage elephant with a little backpack, some paints, and Patrice, you know her.
Patrice loudly with glee, Rutabaga, you're here! And just goes and just like goes to hug them. Fran.
Rutabaga will hug you back with her trunk, give you a nice squeeze, and you will notice the three clansmen. They put their weapons back immediately, like they never drawn it, and they simply give a very large and respectful bow towards the elephant, and Rutabaga expectantly gives them a knowing look, and they are able to stand up straight again.
Patrice would look at them just like, oh yes, this is my kind friend Vega.
Oh, this is
Yes, dear, yes. This I spoke to you about them, but you haven't get to meet them. Yes,
yeah.
this is Rutabaga.
I don't know how I never connected that they were an elephant.
You know, I probably never actually said elephant.
I'm thinking on it. I don't think you ever did.
Yes, they are an elephant, and they are. And then Patrice is gonna be like, oh no, Rutabaga, I'm sorry, I don't have any peaches right now. He's gonna look at everyone else. Does anyone have any peaches?
No, so the answer is no.
I think so.
I'm not gonna lie, Rutabaga gives you a look that's just like, of course you don't have peaches. But then we'll look at Clem and specifically Clem's hair.
Rutabaga, no.
Yes, Rutabaga. Yes.
That's my partner's sister. That's cousin,
Oh,
brother.
I mean, she can be tossed about a bit.
No, that's not.
Clem, you have an elephant before you.
I have wild empathy.
I'll give the elephant some of my fruit hair.
For me, do you want to roll like a d6 plus 2 to see how many orange clementines, you have in your hair?
All right, I have 4.
Amazing. So, are you just gonna pull one out and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
She's
gonna
gonna be like,
I was gonna tell the elephant you have to shake the tree to get them down.
Stop.
Well, as you pull it out, you definitely hear a free at last. I'm free. And then Rutabaga very gently and very sweetly actually will take the clementine for you. It's the gentleness is the equivalent of, have you ever like seen those successful videos of the dogs with eggs? Like that. Yeah, or those TikToks where it's like, you may have a bite, but gentle. You have to be gentle. It's like that. It's very, 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 very soft, honestly. And she will take the clementine from you and eat it. Go straight in the mouth.
Oh, Patrice will be like, thank you. That I appreciate that. I just assumed that was gonna hurt. So that's why it's okay.
It doesn't. Do you want one too?
No. I shan't.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
But thank you. And Patrice is gonna like climb up and sit on Rutabaga.
She allows you to do so.
Yes.
And for you, Clem, you will actually receive. You see Rutabaga actually shove her trunk into one of like the little bags that she carries on her side, and will receive what appears to be a very smooth, shiny rock. But upon closer inspection, it's actually how do I say? It's actually like a quartz, I guess you could say. But it's smooth. It is smooth, like a smooth quartz.
I will say thank you and pocket it.
That's right. Rutabaga knows how to trade. Mm-hmm. And as you all continue to travel, you will get you in particular, priest, will get quite a few looks once, like as you're used to. As Gobata just goes, you're friends with an elephant?
Yes. You aren't?
Oh, I just respect the keepers. I mean, like, not to say that this is disrespect. We just don't see a lot of elephants roaming solo.
Yes, no, they're a very good friend.
Well, hey, I mean, we're always ready for the keepers to show up. So if she wants to come into the village, we're not going to stop her.
Good to hear. To hear.
Are they an artist?
Yes, yes. You see the paints on the side.
Yeah.
While I was with my mentor, I was teaching Rutabaga, how to be, gentle but swift, and I did that with painting, and so they painted with me.
That is wonderful. I'm allowed to paint.
You can talk to elephants?
No, that's bullshit.
I mean, I can talk to elephants, sort of.
You can.
I'm
I
always
do.
open for interpreters.
Kind of. It's kind of like a thing, like a druid thing. It's like I don't know if talking is really the word, but like, I can talk with an animal and we can like vibe, and sometimes they can answer, not all the time, only if they want to. But I can at least be sure that they understood what I'm saying.
Patrice's eyes are so big, just like you could talk to me.
Possibly, Rutabaga wants to talk to me.
That is a GM question.
I mean, like, the best way to put it is that you can tell Rutabaga is paying attention to your conversation.
Mm.
So, what I'm trying to understand is, are you trying to use a spell, or is this a feat that you have that you auto know how to talk?
I have wild empathy. That's why I said that, like, I have a connection with creatures of the natural world that allows me to communicate with them on a rudimentary level.
Okay, I didn't know what wild empathy did. I was like, amazing.
I can kind of talk with them. I can, and if I meet a creature in a wild, it will at least let me make my case before trying to attack me.
Oh, okay. So she can't really, like, she can't converse back the way that I'm conversing back with you, right?
I can have a conversation, but it's not going to be in depth. It's gonna be rudimentary. Like I feel like it's probably more of like feelings and stuff. Like
yeah,
I can be like,
that's what I'm trying. Yeah, like it's not like speak animals where
No,
she will
it's not
speak
speak
back
animals.
to you in essentially common.
Hmm.
But
It's
yeah,
like
if you would,
talking to a Pokemon.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically what it is. If you want to, excuse me, you can. You can
Mm.
tell she's honestly in general, everyone can tell that she's intelligent. She is paying attention to this conversation. Y'all just witnessed her trade essentially for a clementine, so she's aware.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to her about painting, even if she can't necessarily talk back the normal way. I will still try to infer her emotions as we discuss painting.
For you, Ferris, if you would like to roll a nature or performance, I would allow, or survival. And as for you, Aubrey, if you wish to have some sort of a conversation, like you kind of have to be the one to start the conversation.
I didn't really need to like role play it out or anything, but I will converse and like get the vibes.
What are you conversing about? What's the topic? We don't need to role play this
Yeah.
out. It's just
I was suddenly just like, what is the topic? I don't know. It's probably if like I would probably ask Patrice if there was anything they wanted to know before, because Pyro's just like, yeah, no, I just kind of talk to animals sometimes. It's just a thing. But if there was a thing that Patrice really wanted to know, maybe talk it out with Rutabaga.
Patrice would ask, is like, could you ask them if they like anything else besides peaches?
Sure, yeah, I will definitely ask them preferences. Talk to them about food. It'll probably start with food preferences and then just food in general.
Well, based on your wild empathy, you will know that peaches are a favorite, and just kind of their general thing, but they really like fruits in general. So, like, as she kind of tries to converse with you, and yes, you mostly get like feelings and stuff. She's also straight up gesturing to Clem, who is all orange. essentially,
yeah.
or clementines. And if there's like wild berries, you see her gesture to that as well. And you will get the vibe that she very much likes sweet things as well. And when you start talking about food in general, though, that's when she gets she's curious, because it's sort of like, okay, but what is that? And then you try to describe the dish in general. When it comes to meat dishes, I mean, she doesn't eat meat, right? So describing flavors to her is what gets her very curious, because she has no exposure to those besides possibly smell. And for you, Clio, your roll is low, but you are charading the fuck out of this. You're moving your arms. You're trying to maybe form some sort of visual with your body alone. And Aubrey, you can pick up on this in general. You can tell that Rutabaga is nothing if at least amused. There is just there is a rock woman going at it, trying to talk about art. And Rutabaga understands that it is about art. And Rutabaga is smart enough to infer that Clio really likes art. And Clio, the best way to put it is that at some point, Rutabaga will shift through the bag and pull out these. It's sticks of like colored chalk and charcoal, and you can assume that's how Rutabaga likes to use the most. Just like straight up draw. Rutabaga may also gesture to the art on their body, and you can also assume that paint is something that they can probably use a lot. I will say they like bright colors. These are some very nice bright colors. You got pinks, purples, yellows, oranges, all that stuff.
Creases of color.
You get a nice oh fuck! I hit my mic and it hit my titties. You will get an excited toot from their trunkers. Mm-hmm. And unless there's anything else, you guys have a rather pleasant and somehow impactful hike through the thick jungle.
Yeah, but this does not have to be played out. I'll just Patricia just be like telling Rutabaga what happened since, just just like at first they've been sitting like with it like normally, but then they will just like lie down on top of them while looking up and just like talking to Rutabaga for the rest of the travel.
Yeah, nice and chill. You get the feeling that, I mean, like, Rutabaga was just chilling. Honestly, the vibes are completely chill, and she is very good at figuring out where you are, and you can only infer based on your background that elephants are magical. So that really is just it. Anybody from Shangdu looks at an elephant and goes, full of magic, and you're not necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a couple hours. It's a pretty hefty hike, honestly. The terrain doesn't help, and if you were not wearing appropriate footwear, your feet probably quite hurt. And you don't really take any breaks, if I'm being 100% honest. The clansmen are quite keen on taking you to the safety of their village, and have kind of just went, well, this is the jungle and you had days to prepare. That's their kind of vibe, very, they're not empathetic to your hurdy feeties.
Pyra probably at some point like wild shapes and gets up that way.
That is fine.
Whatever animal might be best in this environment. I don't know, like a goat. Goats like mountains.
You're not climbing up a mountain, you're in a jungle.
Jungle, yeah. I don't know, for some reason my brain went mountain, and I just went, I don't know where I got mountain from. So yeah, definitely jungle cat.
Mm-hmm.
Fire jungle cat.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. I'll go with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hoshi will finally use her animal form to turn into a fox and follow along with less fire.
Yeah. The best way to put it is that the fire cat, definitely you get a growl or two from the dogs, but that is simply because they are from the dog clan and you chose to be a cat.
That's fair.
And
I really didn't think about it, and then somebody's like, "He chose to be a cat," and she's like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
And you, Hoshi, you get no growls. You get a couple, like the dogs will definitely take notice of you. But it's sort of like, okay, they're counting you now as a fox kind of vibe. They're not mystified, you know. These dogs are also quite well trained. If you haven't noticed, they are very God. Honestly, the well trained is the best way to put it.
Mhm.
So, your arrival to Dogtown. Now, many of you are probably expecting, like, straight up a village in the middle of the. However, the rush of a waterfall is what you hear first. And as you kind of come upon a clearing of sorts, that is where you see the village. And majority of Shangdu runs like this, in which they make use of the environment around them as to not upset it or dismantle it in any way. And so they have taken essentially this waterfall and its lake-like clearing in a way, and have essentially molded it to fit their village's needs. So the entirety of Dogtown is built around this hidden lake and waterfall. You probably wouldn't have run into it on your own. It's quite well out of the way, as you guys had to hike through the jungle rather than any of the possibly cleared paved roads. And this, you will notice thick hide tents, rather large huts looking like things, stone houses. It's very natural and very, very it's surprisingly packed. It's quite a healthy size for a village. Honestly, village is an understatement of what it could be, hence the name Dogtown. You will also find the dog part very, very truthful, as the ratio of humanoids, mortals, whatever, to dogs is like 2 to 1. You are vastly outnumbered by dogs. In fact, for every person, there's at least 2 to 3 more dogs that you can see, and everybody seems to be not working, but like living in quite a nice, harmonious lifestyle. You all are led up waterfall. Essentially, you're not getting wet and traveling upwards like the Pokemon move waterfall, but rather you will be walking up a stone path that kind of circles upwards to where the cliff ends of the waterfall begin. And as you walk through it, you will get looks. You will be noticed by several guard dogs. Some might even hiss or growl at you. They don't bark or anything, but these dogs are quite prepared, the best way to put it. They are definitely more hostile than their neighbors, their mortal neighbors. But the mortal neighbors are also looking at y'all ready for a fight as well. You are 7 unknown people, and you all smell like the city. The best way for me to put it.
How are people reacting to Rutabaga?
Rutabaga is not stopped. Rutabaga can go wherever she pleases. You might even see some kids kind of run up to Rutabaga to touch her sides, her legs, and whatnot. And she might pat a kid here and there before the kids are kind of swept away by their parents or whatever. But Rutabaga is an elephant, and elephants in Shangdu are regarded very, very highly. She can do as she pleases. They just simply make space, make room. And Rutabaga is more so keeping with the group. She's not wandering off or anything. She is traveling up this waterfall path with you. But the dogs are specifically targeted towards the rest of you, to you party folk, honestly. Not Rutabaga. Rutabaga doesn't have any hostility towards her whatsoever. Yeah. So you are all brought into this small man-made cave-like area in the waterfall. It's sort of like the waterfall is the entrance in a way, but once again, you don't have to cross through water, so you're not getting wet. The waterfall is almost like a curtain, and inside this semi-cave, it's not dark due to like natural light, like holes in set areas and whatnot, and of course where the waterfall is. But notably, there are several tapestries and old-looking weapons strung up on the walls. Once you reach essentially what you can assume is like the throne room, you see behind. It's like right behind the throne is just this wall of white fur. And sitting on the throne, you will definitely notice the Dog Queen. And she sits on this large throne ordained with several mismatched furs of different animals and cloaks, and also what appears to be different kinds of animal teeth or bones. The Khan herself is quite small and feral looking. She's a half elf, and her hair is black, short, and very wild and messy. And her body is covered in several scars, but most notably, her arms are covered in like different henna tattoos, and her fingertips are also quite henna stained. So you can, assume she's done it herself. And she is very, very noticeably armed to the teeth and wears a fur cloak. And sitting right by her feet, so as you don't see the steps really, is this large white wolf with only a single bright blue eye. And standing beside her are two large, very intimidating women that you can also assume are her wives. If you would like to make perception checks, religion checks, or society checks, I will allow it.
Society check.
The Dog Queen, however, once she kind of notices you, or rather, while she visually notices, she's noticed your presence for a while, but visually, she will look towards you, sit more comfortably back in her throne, and simply wait. And it's Alice first who kind of takes a knee rather, and offers like a bow of her head. Clio, for you, Alice will gently kind of take your hand, so you kind of know as what to do.
And seeing Alice do that, Pyro will quickly follow.
Patrice would definitely follow. I feel like maybe Patrice would know already, but would definitely follow suit.
Yeah, Patrice, you know what it's like. You don't have, let's say, courtly graces or anything, but this is a Khan, and you know how Khans are respected and treated. You know what I mean? Okay. What does dubious knowledge do?
It gives me a piece of real knowledge and a piece of fake knowledge, but it doesn't trigger on crit fails.
Oh, okay, good to know. Clem, did you want to make any rolls?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And that's everyone. All right. So for perception rolls, Aubrey, is yours a perception roll?
Yeah, minus perception.
On a perception roll, you guys will simply notice that there are somewhere in the distance. It's rather masked off by the sounds of the waterfall, but you're pretty sure you hear puppies.
Puppies.
And not one or two, like an army. You don't know where they are though, but you can hear them in the walls.
Pyro's like dogs. Dogs.
Pyra, are you still a cat? Do you still
No. The cat would have only lasted, I think, at max like 30 minutes.
Okay. Other things you would notice. So one of the tall women, actually both tall women, the ones standing behind the wives, you will notice certain features about them. In general, for everyone, the woman off to Dog Queen's left is tall and basically cat-like. And she's notably the only one that has a tiger by her side. And her hair is long, it's tied back in a high ponytail, exposing a rather large scar on her face that's covered by an eye patch. And you will also notice simple things like she's carrying a spear, and there's perhaps a moon or two tattooed on her shoulder. The woman on her right is tall and even taller and even beefier, like a brick wall. And the best way to put it is that she is not hiding the fact that she very much worships Sitara. Society check. Clio, you got a 14, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the best way to put it is that you already know certain bits and pieces about the Dog Queen, as Dog Queen's just rather famous, and you are a high society woman. But other than what's already kind of been spoken of, that's what you know, or that's what you notice. Hoshi, you in particular, you can actually kind of pick up a couple of things. You can assume that the cat-like woman is Mara of the Tiger Clan, hence the tiger that is there. And you would probably also know a little bit about Mara. Specifically, she's one of the best warriors to come out of the Tiger Clan in the last somewhat decades. And she and Dog Queen were bitter rivals for a while until Mara essentially abdicated the right of Khanhood because she simply wanted to be a part of the dog clan. So she like moved clans, but basically went, I don't want rights here anymore. And the big beefy one is Yue. And you definitely would have read that this was Dog Queen's most trusted general and friend, fought in the front lines of the war, especially. And just a fun bit of lore, because I think you as a bard would definitely know the story of basically Namari going. Namari is the name of Dog Queen, by the way. Of Namari going, I'm gonna get crowned today, and then I'm gonna marry this woman 5 minutes later. And she basically made one giant day of it, which is something cons do not do. So she kind of went and updated the status quo specifically to spite the other cons.
Do cons not get married, or do cons not get married and crowned on the same?
Cons do not get married and crowned on the same day. The best way to put it is that to become a con, it's like a giant coronation celebration. You know, you get it's a huge rite. It's a lot of tradition, and Shangdu is all about tradition. And Namari kind of just went, but fuck all them bitches. You know? She did it twice, technically. Yeah, she went and married her enemy too, so it's, it's gay. Dog Queen
Good.
will, yes, Dog Queen will take notice of, majority of you have knelt, right? And, Dog Queen will smile. And it is, the best way to put it, it is teethy. And she will look up and say, stand, rise. I want to see what the city dragged. You all have a smell to you, pardon me, just very, overwhelming.
Ira does like the thing slightly where she just like sniffs her shirt. It's like,
No, you don't stink of sweat or anything. Though I do
Oh,
smell
okay.
that on you, but I smell that off of everyone. You just smell like the city, oil, and a lot more other people. It's a dead giveaway around these parts. But, it's hard to get that kind of stink off of you, so I'm not gonna hold it against you.
I will stand up and take off the box Scepter in it, the person we're supposed to bring it to, and kind of take one step forward and just present the box. Great Khan, we brought to you, request us.
Yes, you have. Good job. And when you open it, you will see the wives in particular kind of take a deep breath, sort of. This is a rather, I've mentioned the ritualistic this in nature. That is only further confirmed by their reaction, and it's not just them. You would get a few from other mortal guards that are there, just a subtle taken aback in a way. But it's more so in awe that it is within their presence. But the Dog Queen, however, looks about as impressed as the equivalent of watching your kid in soccer practice and then they fail, but you have to act impressed. That is Dog Queen on bated breath. But she still keeps her rather toothy grin up. She'll kind of look at the very big beefy wife, Yue, and show her her hand. And Yue immediately takes a step down, and Clio, she is so much bigger now that she is right beside you. Like, Alice is tall and rather beefy and built. Pyra is tall and rather beefy and built. Alice and Pyra could each be an individual arm on Yue. Yue makes Dumisa looks like sponge cake.
Okay.
And you will notice a rather bestial, yeah, that's it, presence upon Yue. I won't say feral. She's quite tame, but that is her. And she will very gently actually take the scepter out of the box. You would notice that she actually doesn't even want to touch the box per se. She's simply just doing her best to only touch the item and take it out. And she inspects it quite closely and gently, as this is a fragile item, before looking up at her wife and giving her a nod. Dog Queen will also give a nod. And she'll then put the item back in the box, and she'll actually close it and give it back to you, Clio. And Dog Queen will speak up and say, "We'll let you keep that on you for now, as insurance. That's what it is. Yeah, you'll still be paid in full, as you did basically half of your job. No, 2/3 of your job. We would like you to come with us, of course, to return it, as you deserve the goddess's blessing as much as we would, if not more. I don't know if any of you are dedicated followers or not, but well,
Yes.
wouldn't you? Oh,
Yes, I am.
oh, good for you. Huh. The rest of you, though, I'm pretty sure would love to have, well, not love. There are benefits to having a blessing from the goddess of death, probably, though. Any
Yeah.
case. Oh, yeah?
I mean, can't hurt.
Any case, the village is open to you. We will not be leaving today. We will be meeting the keepers, though, at the temple, but it is not the right time. It will be in a couple days, give or take. So feel free to roam my village and make yourselves comfortable. Not at home, be that comfy here. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you for your hospitality.
You're welcome. Couple things though before you leave. One, I'm going to need you all to, how best to put it, give an offering to our spirit guardian. I'll let you meet her real soon. And don't worry too much about the offering. The offering is simply your scent. I will also need you to swear to keep to your weapons close by, but not to draw them while within these walls. Don't harm any of the dogs, don't harm any of the spirits, and, well, the best way to put it is, should you break it, we have your scent, and I don't mind sending a really nice city manhunt for some tainted blood. Other than that, I'm sure my captain has spoken of the unborn attacks, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, this village has never been directly attacked or invaded, so I would like to assure your safety. We are also in talks with the Knights of the Goddess Sarai, so you are extra safe if you care for it. Other than that, that's pretty much all you need to know, all you need to do. And we're good here, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing. You, she points to Alice. We will talk payment in a moment. The rest of you, I'm gonna need you to meet Chabi. Follow me. And she just gets up. You will notice the large white dog or wolf that's at her feet when he stands is like double the size of the biggest dog you guys have seen here.
Big
And very big. And Dog Queen has zero trouble jumping on its back to essentially ride. But you're not running per se. She's simply guiding you to where to go next. And you go to the back of the room where the giant white fur wall is. And Dog Queen simply pets it and goes, "We have guests, Mother." And the wall moves. And it's no longer a wall, a huge hole. And the loud puppy noises flood the room immensely.
Pyra looks excited.
And Dog Queen and her large dog kind of walk through. Do you follow into the puppy room?
Yes, Pyra does.
Of course.
Yes.
You have to ask.
Pyra's right behind her. She's like, puppies. I love puppies.
You get into this room, this puppy room, and it the best way to put it is that it's another steep slope on the way down that you are expected to walk all the way around. And just it's almost like a well of sorts. There's lots of natural light coming into this room. There's vines, trees, flowers of all sorts growing in. It's a very natural, almost meadow-like oasis in this room. And there's even this lovely pool of water coming in through like what you can assume is like a waterfall, but it's like clear. It's so like not clear as in it's like colorless like water or anything, but rather you can see like the bottom of it and in this, and it's like this nice blue turquoise almost look to it. And in the middle is the best way to put it is like if a Titan had a pet dog. It is the largest, whitest wolf you've ever fucking seen. And you can kind of infer that the large white wall is this giant wolf with some red paint around the eyes and on the forehead. There is a sigil of some sorts on her, and she is humongous. She dwarfs Dog Queen's mount, and she looks, the best way to put it is wise and fucking deadly. And in front of her, the smallest army of puppies you've ever seen. Puppies of various dog breeds, maybe a couple wolf breeds. Just so many puppies. When Dog Queen gets down, she's almost immediately attacked by the puppies. She stays on her mount, though her mount is also attacked by puppies. It's a puppy swarm. And then when you guys approach, the minute you take a step down from the steps, so your feet are leveled with the puppies, you are also attacked by puppies.
Mm-hmm.
So please make a reflex save.
I
because
want to fail.
This is okay. If
Pyra will fail.
if you choose to fail, you will safely land on your butt.
Yep.
As you are now attacked by puppies. Some are playfully biting you, I'm not gonna lie. They're puppies, they're probably teething. Others are so curious. There's another person.
Pyra, this is the best day of my life.
Just so many puppies. There also are a couple other like humanoid guards here and there, like just to watch over the puppies, you can only assume. But not gonna lie, you don't need to necessarily make a perception roll for this. They have these weaved baskets, and inside the baskets are more puppies. And they are simply like trying to get the puppies, you can assume, used to their scent by selecting a few of them and keeping them really close. But now that more people have showed up, the puppies are basically just scrambling to get out because they are curious of all these new scents and new people.
Pyra's just like, yes, accept me as one of your own.
As for the ones, the best way to put it is that 20s and above, you are safe. You do not fall into the puppies. The puppies swarm you and try to climb up you, and you're kind of able to keep balance and steady. You can pick some up if you want to.
Yes. Hitting as many others.
Yep, just swarm of puppies.
How
So
many
many
puppies can you hold in a single armful?
It's like, I'm going to figure
Is there
this
a
out.
roll for that?
I'm going to
Don't worry,
say-
I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to say, if you would like to figure this out, you may roll a d20 and add 1, because you can always hold 2 puppies. Unless otherwise, on special circumstances, not going to be ableist here. But the recommended amount I would say is 2. So a minimum of 2 puppies. And then,
I got 13.
13.
I got. I rolled 19. Does that make a whole 20 puppies?
Yep, you can hold 20 puppies.
Oh my goodness. So Hoshi looks like 10.
Az can hold 15 puppies. Clio said 16. Clem, would you like to roll to see how many puppies you can hold?
No, thank you.
Clem is just content. Oh, I'm gonna roll for Alice. Just because, she'd definitely be holding a puppy.
Might be coming.
Probably. I mean, let's see what happens. Alice can hold 14.
Pyra is definitely just like, puppies. Looks at Nugget. You may have a sibling.
Oh, your animals are also being low-key swarmed, by the way. Nugget, I hope Nugget is upon higher ground, because if not, these puppies are after a chicken. Not to eat the chicken, but like they're puppies, they're here to play.
Nugget was probably in the sash. So Nugget is on the ground with me.
Nugget getting licked at, getting poked at. Moof. Minerva is saved by the grace of God and the fact that she can fly. Rutabaga also has been down here. Rutabaga is also swarmed by puppies.
Yeah.
Rutabaga is content.
Yeah. No, and legit, Patrice would be standing up very calmly, just grab the biggest handful of puppies, which happens to be 20, and just standing just content standing there, armful of puppies.
Yep.
You will look at Dog Queen, who now also low-key has a basket of puppies. And she will look at the rest of you and go, I like to hand raise these little ones as much as possible. I've pretty much trained or raised every single dog you see here. Had more dogs than people growing up. Oh, and she will pick up one that the best way to put it is they have white fur and flappy ears like a lab in a way, but the fur is kind of curly. And she'll just hold this one up like Simba and goes, but this one's my favorite.
Precious.
Technically my least, in a way. And she's just gonna look at the mount, like her giant wolf mount, and her giant wolf mount will look... The best way to put it is, you ever see a smug dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very smug dog. And you can assume that this one is their pup in some way, shape, or form. And Dog Queen just went, this is my favorite. Her name's Naga. She's gonna get real big soon. And then she puts it back in the basket. And she will simply gesture to the even bigger wolf in the room and go, allow my chobby to sniff you, essentially. It'll be a pretty generalized sniff since she's huge. And then afterwards, you can leave and be free to roam the village. Yeah.
I will do it without hesitation. Because she has no plans to cause any problems. So therefore, it's just like, yeah, no, sure.
Alright, so everybody's willing to be sniffed. So you all kind of step closer towards her, and the closer you get, the more building like this wolf feels. You are so dwarfed, it's not even... how this wolf even got in here, you can only assume it's really easy for her to jump upwards and outwards because of how just ridiculously big she is. And she looks at you all long and hard before slowly dipping her head down towards you. And the closer she gets, the closer her jaws get. And you all may feel to realize that she could totally just eat, and you would be like the equivalent of a like a fruit roll-up type of snack, you know? It's not filling at all, but you're possibly delicious. And you feel this gust of air kind of pull you upward as she takes the longest sniff of her life. Some of your hair may defy gravity for a second, and maybe they get even stuck, kind of flowing up once she's done.
My hair already defies gravity.
Your hair is fire.
Yeah.
the best way to put it is momentarily extinguished.
Yeah.
You're bald for like 5 seconds.
And then just poof.
Yep, and then it poofs back. And she moves back to her seated position, and then she doesn't flop over. She just continues to lie down, essentially, and watch over these puppies. And once you're done, Dog Queen gives you guys a long look and goes, "Why are you still here?"
I don't
Mhm.
know.
No reason. Handful of
Puppies.
10 puppies.
Make sure you leave them, and then leave. You're not being forced to stay here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm the happiest when I'm with animals.
I will reluctant down all my base
Mhm.
and give them all good pets. And
Yeah.
then Miss Alice, who I guess has to stay and talk to the dog queen, and just drag myself out of
Yeah.
As you guys leave, Dog Queen will simply say, my wife will show you to your lodge. Don't cause any trouble. We'll let you know when we need you." I will say, though, Clio, Alice has to stay behind, but you will immediately hear or see Alice kind of say, "Do you sell your puppies?"
Yes.
And if so,
I'll
how
send
much?
her a message as I leave and just be like, really cute.
Pick up, look at Nugget and be like, "Don't worry, I still love you."
As y'all leave, you hear Dog Queen say, "Yeah, sometimes." And you're not really escorted out per se, as you unfortunately have to climb back up the slope, and and you'll find Mara waiting for you guys with her rather large tiger, and she's got her spear in hand, but she's it looks like she's leaning on it like a walking stick, and she'll just look at you all and go, "Well, enjoy the puppy room."
Very
I
much.
mean, yeah. Honestly, how can you not love puppies?
I'm a cat
There's-
person.
I mean, I guess as a druid, I kind of love all animals.
Good for you. Well, you guys got your own little hut this way, if you'll follow me. Further inside, the village, but, well, yeah. Oh, a rule of thumb, because I'm pretty sure she forgot to mention this. We have an open door policy simply because our dogs like to roam and don't know what boundaries are. So, if a
That's
dog
fine.
walks in, the dog is in.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fine.
Amazing. Would you like to make any small talk with her as she escorts y'all to essentially where you will be staying?
I think I'm all right.
I would. We don't have to actually do the small talk, but Cleo would definitely verse.
Oh, okay. Like just generalized small talk.
Yeah. I don't actually think specific in mind, but yes.
So Hoshi has heard the songs, but how does someone from the cat tribe end up with the dog tribe? Maybe I want to make some songs of my own.
Are you asking?
Yeah,
her
yeah.
specific- okay, cool. Well, you'll see. Well, first of all, you'll see Mara just give you a nice big old grin, and she'll just go, "Ever read anything called like enemies to lovers trope?" Because that's literally what happened. The best way to put it is that as a teenager, I guess I thought fighting another teenager for like a decade was a good idea. It's not, and she kind of gestures to her eye. But well, I don't know. I guess I kind of like power in a way. Oh, that's pretty weird. That kind of outs me, doesn't it? Never mind. Well, yeah, no, it does. Okay. Sorry, I'm like thinking of it. I'm like, shit, wait a minute. Mara will also explain specifically the lovely intricacies of Khanhood, if you would like it.
I'm just imagining the song now. She thought she took my eye, but really she took my heart.
Yeah, let's go. Oh god, that was good. That was good. Mara will also mention specifically that Dog Queen is nothing if but efficient. So all of this, where everything you see was kind of definitely hand built by her, quote unquote hand built. She did not build like the fucking waterfall or anything, but she did steal it, or not steal, but win it through combat.
Mm.
And everything is quite the impressive feat, and you can you definitely don't sense hostility from Mara at all. And you don't sense any malicious intent per se, especially when she talks about Dog Queen. So I definitely don't want you to think that this wasn't like a non-consensual or arranged marriage or anything. She 100% chose this. They both are pretty into it. And yeah. Is there any other small talk you would like to?
A friendly.
Oh, the best way to put it is that. Do you want to roll? Actually, Mara quite loves her wife.
Okay. Oh no. Oh
Roll
no.
for wife, please.
It would just be I would say maybe regular D20 roll, but add your charisma, like your charisma modifier.
Okay. That's my good thing. I'm also gonna give myself guidance.
Oh yeah, I can't fault you on that. Okay.
My dice hate me. Come on, dice. This is for the gayness. A 10.
It's okay. I rolled very low.
Oh,
You win. The best way to put it is Mara goes into detail about how much she admires, or rather how much she loves her wife's strength and determination, and the fact that her wife is very good with the pups, and that's kind of cute. Is there anything in particular you would like to go into in your wife off?
yes. My wife is stylish, and she is strong, and she is pretty, and she is smart, and she is loyal and devoted, and has very good eye for art. Also, she is capable of pulling off a heist all by herself. And she owns a train, I think, and she's just the best.
As you wish to join the wife off.
I would like to join the wife off also.
Okay, if you want to join the wife off, then then I will allow it under the rules of Clio and Mara get to reroll, because this becomes a triple wife off.
Fair.
It's like the best way to put it is that a new round has started, and there are more things to admire about your wives.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my hero point here.
I'm gonna cast guidance again. I'm also gonna use my hero point. Oh yeah, hero point for the win. Okay.
We have to take the second one, right?
Yes, you have to take your reroll.
Well, that was a natural one for a total of 4.
Oh
22.
no! What did you say, Cleo?
22.
Okay, Mara got like a 7. Okay, so what would you like to talk about Clem?
I think I start talking about how like dashing they are and all the adventures they go on, and then I get sort of distracted, just sort of thinking about her.
And then Mara immediately jumps in and goes, "She's not your wife yet, right?"
Well, no, but
Disqualified. Disqualified.
There's the reason why Pyra and Az didn't get into, or Pyra and Patrice didn't get into it,
This
because
is
we're
true.
like, we're not married.
Yeah, even though I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, but you're not in. You didn't say you wanted in.
I know, I rolled and it's like, God damn it.
Damn, you would have won. Anyways, and then Mara yells disqualified, and you see her tiger nod like you're disqualified by under their circumstances. And the Mara will go a little bit further in some more. Mara will be like, okay, so like I thought she was like, just this scrawny, useless, dumbass kid, but now she's my scrawny, useless, dumbass wife. And Cleo, you notice she said dumbass twice, and therefore you win, because you would never ever say Alice is a dumbass.
Oh, I can even add to that, because our love is fated in the stars, because we were separated across time, and yet fate brought us together. That she was the first person I met in this new world, and she was the one.
Very, very quietly, you hear Mara say, like the portrait of a lady in love.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah, all the time. Well, the one time I ever went to the city, that's the one thing I wanted to see.
Isn't it marvelous? Yes, it is. It wasn't supposed to be, but they did rewatch us.
No way.
Oh yes, it is our favorite show in the whole theater works.
I can't get the Mari to sit and watch anything like that. She doesn't get it.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you.
Yue and I go to watch these things all the time, but the Mari literally does not understand the concept of the theater.
Perhaps if it was more of a gladiator sort of theater. Not
She
with
would-
actual killing, but perhaps, simulated killing.
Yes, that those arena types of fights are what she's more interested in.
With a
I
good
mean,
orchestra in the background and someone to give fine speeches while we fight. And you have a theater production, just, a little more fake blood. Or
Yeah.
realistic healer on standby.
yes, that's true. Perhaps I'll give it a go. Another shot.
For you, she should.
She would. I mean, well, I don't know if it isn't obvious, but it's not like she's a fan of gods and their works. Yue and I kind of got her to do this for us. Well, that's in the keepers. Keepers can't take all of the credit, but yes, that is essentially the gist of it.
It's very true. Even a small part.
That's correct. I really should give your whole group my most respected thanks. We've lost a lot of things in general over time. Constant war. Though we haven't been in wars in about a decade, I'll give you that. But it's nice to see things, to have something,
Did your wedding stop the fighting?
A bit. My mother was not happy. I will be. We don't have the best relationship with in-laws here, but we do have between our clans quite a comfortable peace, which is hilarious if you want to think about it. Dogs, cats. The Boar clan, however, is just, well, they were always big-headed, so. Yes, if you need anything else, I am more than happy to be your guide around. I'll come and check up on you. In terms of food, well, we've got a few preserves inside your hut. You will all have to share, of course. And, well, probably invite you to have dinner with me as well, as long as you don't mind the constant trek up.
We would be honored.
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, yes. And your elephant. Well,
Mhm.
she has free roam of the place, of course. But is she staying with you? Are you staying with them? Mara looks at Rutabaga, and then Rutabaga looks at you. Jeez.
Why, of course. Why wouldn't they?
Good to know, good to know. We just wanted to make sure you didn't have to open up a field or something for her.
Greatly appreciated.
Yes. All right. We have a bit of time. Is there anything you would like to do in town?
I can't think of anything in particular.
Or I guess.
Explore and
Alex
be
can
gay.
explore. Yeah.
Don't need to role play it, but Hoshi wants to go out and find the local establishments. I assume that they must drink or something. To find out more details about this couple, because this seriously is gonna make a great song.
You mean
You
you want
know-
to go to it like a tavern equivalent, essentially?
Yeah, and get them to gossip about the first ladies. What would the con equivalent of the first lady be?
They are both essentially first ladies, but they're also like well-established warriors too. So they're also like war captains, generals, guards. It's everybody kind of has a jack of all trades job, sort of to say. Like you have to be able to pick up the slack where it's needed. And the con title is just jack of all trades, but you also get to make decisions. So you're also technically the strongest in the entire village, but that's just kind of assumed, Though there are records of Dog Queen, like 100% proving it, like fact checking it immediately. She can fact check you right now if you really wanted to. Anything else anybody else wants to do besides getting more information on the couple? Because I can just give you, I'll make you roll for it, and then I'll give you more information.
No, I can't think of anything Pyra specifically wants to do other than just, relax, enjoy time with Patrice. Wait to see what happens next.
And I heard 2 people say they just wanted to explore as well, correct?
Yeah, I'll wait for Alice.
Yes, Alice will essentially meet you at the hut. And she does have the scepter, like the case of the scepter with her. As it is technically like a quote unquote insurance, if that makes sense. And For the people who want to explore, did you want to RP any of that out or just do a general exploration?
I'm with just general.
Same.
Okay, cool. Then I will say you are all able to. You have essentially free roam of the village. Though if you try to leave the village, they will not let you leave. You're not held captive, but it's sort of like your job's not done here yet, and you don't have sanction to leave. You do, however, have sanction to roam throughout this village, and it is quite a nice village. It's not rowdy in any way, though you might consider just all the dogs out and about to be kind of like, I wouldn't say weird, but odd. Like you are used to stray dogs, stray animals roaming about. Every single pupper here looks like they are here with a job. It's as busy as Shang, but with dogs. And you'll even see when you get to the tavern, and I'm assuming maybe perhaps the tavern is just where you decide to have lunch or the equivalent of it there. You'll see that there is an inside hut type of establishment for it, and there is also an outside equivalent. So sort of like when you go to or when you see resorts or whatever, and then they have an outside bar, sort of like that. But there is also an inside part to it. So like patio, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And when you will see there are occasionally some dogs with the equivalent of wagons and like plates and stuff like that inside the wagon, and the dogs just bringing them around. The dogs are also waiters here. Mm-hmm. And they're so well trained and well behaved. They do not sneak food, even if you attempt to feed them, because it's not food time.
Polite baby.
Mm-hmm. You will also find that the food here is quite hearty and savory, so you'll probably have quite a nice meal. In terms of getting information on technically the first ladies, you can roll society or diplomacy. Hoshi, I mean. Honestly, anybody else too, if you just want the general information, I'll allow it.
Yeah, that is like a 31 with a natural 20.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Nice.
So give me like all of or I'm not going to force you to do this, but out of character, like Hoshi is going after like all of the rhymes and the like cute little stories that are slightly edgy but also adorable, and just stuff that would make for a good song. As well as anything that you would think would be interesting to us as a group. But
yes. Okay. Well, I will say you will quickly learn that people don't mind talking about Dog Queen and her wives like at all. It's almost like, oh, you haven't heard? Well, here's this. Oh, you're interested? Sure, here's this. The people here are quite content with their leaders, as far as you can tell. And there are more like epic tales of battles and adventures of the like of Dog Queen specifically. And maybe Yue is also in it, because Yue was often by her side the most and the longest. Yue is one of the first quote unquote humans, or of the humans really, and basically people, to ever travel with Dog Queen and not be on-sighted immediately. Any stories with Mara, you can tell, are quite harsh, not to judge Mara's character, but because they were from opposing clans, and they were at some points trying to kill each other because they were at war. You will also quickly figure out that any bards that necessarily come from here, their songs are not necessarily even songs. They're more like more of the storyteller type feats, or even dancers and such, and you can probably find a couple. So you will find some helpful rhymes, tales, and poems every now and then, but they are not of Dog Queen and her wives. They're not like romantic or anything like that. They're just epic and cautionary. In fact, I'll just give you this one that I read because it's a sonnet that I read and made in class. And I used Dog Queen as because Dog Queen's my fucking OC. So that is an actual sonnet that you will probably hear in character, told by some old battle ready bard who's seen a battle or two. Even their dog is old, has an eye patch, possibly like a wooden leg or two. It's like these two definitely are battle ready bards, and they will give you essentially a sonnet of Dog Queen's life summarized. I don't think you need me to reiterate, since I've done it a couple times, of Dog Queen's feats. But the best way to put it is that she's quite revolutionary. And so her people are extremely loyal to her. The specific information you get about Mara is that Mara is actually the daughter of the current Khan in the Tiger Clan. She was like the right-hand general, the leader, basically the Yue equivalent to her mother. And falling in love with the Dog Queen took a while, but it is pretty truthful and pretty true. And she swore allegiance to the Dog Clan. She loves and cares for the Dog Clan. She doesn't have a dog partner, though. She continues to have a tiger for a partner. And by partner, I mean like an animal companion. And she continues to do several traditions and whatnot of that. And nobody necessarily judges her for it.
So is this like Rhyme City and Detective Pikachu, where everybody has their partner?
Yes. Basically, yes. The best way to put it is that if you ever were to become a part of this clan, and you will note that there are people who were outsiders, there are immigrants and whatnot from lesser clans or from cities that decided to continue to stay in Shangdu and stuff like that. They are given their own dogs. Dog Queen gives them a puppy. So if you ever wanted to move here, you swear loyalty to the clan, you swear to serve the clan, you swear to live and or die by the clan, for the clan. And then you get your own puppy.
Ira's certainly considering it.
Best citizenship test ever.
Yeah.
Ira's like, maybe after this is done.
Yep. And everybody here is quite community based and community driven, by the way. It's very easy to tell. So Mara had to earn her place here and essentially her love here because she was an outright enemy of the clan. And she's famous outside of it. But as of now, she's treated just like any other member, and her love for the Dog Queen is quite true. And same thing back. Yue, however, is like the equivalent of a war hero. It's really hard to find somebody who dislikes Yue actively. She's just gentle giant wolf woman. That's it. And her devotion and patience with the Dog Queen is also quite renowned. But you do not necessarily hear any like love songs about them. They're not that kind of. The people here are not thinking of it in that kind of. They just think of epic tales and battles and stuff like that. One other tidbit of information, though, I will give you, just because you guys kind of already know that Dog Queen did this specific job to find the scepter and bring it back home. Essentially, she did it for her wives. You will know that Dog Queen is actually the rare atheist that you would find in this setting. She knows that the gods are real. She knows that they exist. She does not care for them, and she's very vocal about it. Everybody here can like worship whoever she wants or they want or whatever. Dog Queen simply just wants all the gods to continue to do their jobs. The minute they don't, Dog Queen's like, well, fuck them. That's literally it. Dog Queen respects the keepers, though, because of their status, of their continued wisdom and patience and and general, like, the keepers are essentially like native to this plane, and so Dog Queen not worships them. Dog Queen respects them. Every other god, though, Dog Queen goes, "What of it?" She's so vocal about it. She does not have. You won't find statues of gods here for a reason. Except small altars inside people's homes and stuff like that. That's different. But not a single statue or monument or general place of worship in DogTown to any god at all, which is super weird for all of them. That's it. If there's anything else you want to do, you can do it. You guys have a pretty chill time. You're probably invited to dinner. The dinner has more dogs, more dog guests than people. And it's a very big, it's not even like a table you're necessarily sitting at. It's mostly you guys are sitting like on a mat on the floor, and there's like food everywhere. And the dogs are very well behaved. The dogs, you'll be like surrounded by dogs.
Pet them while we eat.
They will allow it.
One hand eating, other hand is either petting a dog or holding my wife's hand.
Yep. Is there anything else you guys would like to do at all before I quickly wrap it up?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything in particular that Pyro wants to do.
Let's be gay.
Yeah.
Yep, just be gay with dogs.
Be gay with dogs.
Awesome.
Good God. With dogs.
Okay. So you guys have a pretty good time, actually. The people are quite welcoming since you have also been quite respectful. And you return to your hut, exhausted, attacked by puppies, and you're happy, like you're in a happy place, and so you all quickly find yourself sleeping. And as a collective, you will have the same dream. You dream of the quiet darkness of night, but there is no moon. There is a body of a man, a young adult boy, really, lying on the cold floor. An older, wiser man steps over the body, and he looks very similar to the boy. He is his father. He is dressed in ceremonial garbs, and he is holding the broken scepter in his hands. The other piece of the staff, the broken part, is protruding out of his son's body. And with a bloody hand, he draws a rune or a sigil over his bare chest and looks up towards the sky. Over a moonless night, he looks and he says, "If I cannot shine brighter than you, I will consume you." And you are awoken almost immediately after that. You hear shouting, you hear barking, and then several howls at the same time, almost like a giant synchronized doggo alarm system. And only then can you hear the soft playing of music box. Hoshi, your music box has been opened by something, and it's playing in its nice angelic voice, several voices of different ages and tones. And it's just repeating the same phrase you all heard, but in a sing-songy voice. "If I cannot shine brighter than you, I will consume." That's where we're gonna end.
Like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Y'all have the best fucking day of your lives. But I'm gonna have to say no to that. So next week should be our last session. Mm-hmm. Yes. I hope you enjoyed today's game, though it was mostly just lore dump and dogs.
Well, it's good. It's a lot of just learning about the world.
And dogs.
And
spooky sounds.
Yeah, and then it got spoopy at the end. It's like, oh shit. And well, that's it. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Bored of D&D? Want to try something else? Why not check out Control Group? We test systems so you don't have to. Using our patented mini campaigns along with one-shots, we test how far you can stretch systems with our unique ideas and broad storytelling. Our mission statement is to give a voice to those not often heard in the TTRPG community. So whether it be a system you've never heard of, or our testers being people of color, people on the LBGTQIA+ spectrum. We want to make sure our stories are broad, vast, and told from different perspectives. So whether you want classic role-playing or just big goofs, come listen to us try out systems, some of which we've even made ourselves. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, or head over to controlgrouppod.com. That's CTRL, just like the key on your keyboard. There you can find the systems we test along with easily accessible PDFs. So check us out if you're into Monster of the Week, Passion de los Pasiones, A Song of Fire and Ice, Lasers and Feelings, Gunsight, Void Worlds, Wizards and Wands, Stranded, Interstitial, The Last Shonen, and so much more!
Passengers, remain calm and please stay in your seats. We are experiencing pirate activity.
Oh, there's just something happening.
What? Them. Them. Oh no.
At the outer edges of space, where union is but a whisper, humanity scrapes together a living amongst the stars. This is the story of 4 Lancers, talented pilots of mechanized chassis from all corners of the known universe, thrown together by circumstance and destiny, and credits. Follow Matcha.
Oh, were we supposed to know each other beforehand? I mean, we're all gonna die, but I'm glad you figured that out now.
Moxie.
Well, I have absolutely no idea what you necessarily need me to do here, but if it's kill a bitch or fix a bitch, I can do both very well. You're worth 1 week of no chores, and you know what? I really need that week.
Roadkill.
I'll take in the front, those 2 are taking the back. One of them's going through the booty hole, and let's go. I kinda need your help.
Fuck you, fuck you.
And Silver.
Here's like a little bit of money. Please go away. The ghost of your mistakes.
Led by me, Reed, your game master, through the Lancer system, a mud and laser style anime mecha RPG. I hope they brought some printers with them, because this is Bring Your Own Mech, an actual play Lancer podcast, and batteries are not included. Catch our first episode starting on July 29th, wherever you catch your podcasts, and then every other Thursday. Follow my heading, and I'll see you there.
Be gay. Roll Dice,
an LGBTQIA actual play podcast network.